My expectations before coming to Nigeria, and actually they changed. I thought of Boko Haram, kidnapping all the time.
Scam, kidnappings.
The whole process from visa application to the visa approval, picking the passport from the embassy, took me 6 days.
The problem was there was nowhere a list of the document you are asked for.
The most difficult part on this visa was the invitation letter. As a traveler, I didn't have anyone in Nigeria, nobody.
It's not like you think, of course, but that was a bit confusing. I was actually afraid that I got scammed because I also heard stories of people who applied for the visa online.
Hello my wonderful people, a beautiful day to you wherever you are in the world. Today's video is a very special one and it has to do with how to obtain Nigeria's visa.
Hi everyone, I'm Dude, and as Arenga said, I'm from the Czech Republic. I'm really grateful to be in your country. I finally reached here. I've traveled many countries of Africa in the east, pretty much all of the countries in the west, and I'm now really glad that I have the opportunity to see and show the world the beauty of Nigeria. So now I'm going to tell you more about how to get the visa so you can also come and visit.
Hi everyone, my name is Tom and I come from Kampala, Uganda. I'm here to share with you the experiences and how to get the Nigerian visa. All of those who are planning to visit Nigeria, you should go to this video.
So now, my first question to you guys is, what type of visa did you get?
Okay, so I'm a tourist, so for that purpose, the tourism visa is the one you need to get.
I applied for the tourism visa because I think the other visas are so complicated to get.
So now my next question is, how did you apply for the visa? Did you apply online or you went to the embassy?
Okay, so this was a little bit complicated. As I found on the internet the information from the source Passport Index, where I always find out about the visas, the Nigeria gives e-visa. So I was supposed to apply online, but I couldn't really find on the Czech Ministry of Foreign Affairs any information of the website and something, but I somehow got to one website and there you can apply online. However, after applying online, I paid like $108 because the visa was some $78, and then there were some processing fees. And then my visa got approved pretty fast. However, actually my friend he did the same and he was looking in the details and there was like written pretty small, not so clear that we actually have to go to the embassy. So which I checked the website again and there was a tab where you needed to click and book the appointment at the embassy. So after doing this online part, you still need to go to the embassy. Be sure to make that and not forget it, because if you just come with this online approval, they will not let you.
So I applied for online e-visa Nigeria because there was that option. However, they approved my application and the visa within 2 days. So there was something small again that I have to visit the embassy and they have to take the following requirements. I was so confused because e-visa was approved, but then I still had to go to the embassy. I was so scared and confused at the same time. So I told my friend Dudy to check this e-visa thing if it's also approved on his. And then he said, yeah, it was approved, but actually we had to go to the embassies. But my embassy from Uganda and his embassy from Czech Republic.
So what documents were you guys asked to bring?
Okay, so the first thing was there was no information, completely no information. To get the e-visa, I needed to submit my passport, of course, and I think the confirmation of accommodation, hotel booking. And then they told me to print out the application and the payment form the receipt that I paid for the visa and bring it over to the embassy. However, at the embassy, I found out I was asked many other different things like invitation letter, bank statement. Connected with the invitation letter, by the way, Arenga, thank you very much for inviting me to your beautiful country. And you had to also give your IDs, copies of passport, bank account, statements, and so on. Also, I needed to bring a passport picture. I needed to have, I think, insurance. Was not asked. I think those were the main ones. The problem was there was nowhere a list of the document you are asked for. For example, when I applied for the visa in Ghana, it was pretty much very similar process, but as I applied online, it told me exactly the steps what I need to do. They told me a list, and for my specific visa, like there was a list of all the documents, including like trading license and everything. But then with me, this trading license was not like as a required document. So there was a list, all the documents, and they just ticked which one I need to bring. So that made it really easy. For the Nigeria, the core document was the visa application, passport, copy of my passport, and the invitation letter, my bank account statement, and I think that was pretty much all, maybe.
So about the requirements you need to get the visa. Before even going for the appointment, when I saw this e-visa approval, I made sure that I called the embassy first before going for the appointment. So the guy working at the embassy told me that I should take invitation letter of someone in Nigeria. I should take a copy of his passport data page. I should take a copy of his personal bank statement, my personal bank statement, proof of enough finances, and I think they were the main requirements. So when I went there a day before my appointment, actually, because I was so confused, like, to confirm. And then when I went there, they gave me a list of the requirements, and it was too much. They asked me to bring LOC letter. That's like a local chairman letter. Ugandans, you know what I mean. They asked me to bring the person's bank statement again, my bank statement, a copy of his village ID, passport, the proof of the flight going and return ticket. The hotel booking does not matter here, as long as you have an invitation letter. That's what matters the most. And also you have to know the fee, how much the visa cost. I paid $70 for an online e-visa. There was someone who telling me that she paid, my friend in Uganda again, that she paid $200. I don't know what $200 was for, but you have to be very careful before coming and get to know everything you need.
So as I said, I paid $78 plus $30 for some processing fee. That was for the e-visa. And when I entered the embassy, I actually had to pay another administrative fee of the embassy, which was around $50, I think. And also because I needed the visa faster, because I also needed to apply for the Ghana embassy, and there was a holiday because the end of Ramadan, so there were a couple of days when the embassy was not working, so I needed to speed up the process, and I paid another some $50 extra. So in total it was around $230 for the visa, which is my most expensive tourist visa I've ever get.
How long does the whole process take from application to approval?
So if you mean by the application, the online application, I did it 1 week. I think it was like Thursday something. On Friday I booked the appointment, and then this holiday came into play. So Monday, Tuesday was holidays. On Wednesday was my appointment at the embassy. And because I had all the documents ready, like I have to stress out this point, I had everything ready. They accepted my application immediately, and I also paid the express fee, and I had it ready by Friday, which is just 2 days. It's pretty much okay, but I think it could get very long, and I was actually told by some Czech people around the embassy that they were very surprised that my visa was very fast.
The whole process from visa application to the visa approval, picking the passport from the embassy, took me 6 days. I applied online, and the visa I went for the appointment 3 days after applying online. and then I had to go to take the requirements they needed. Then from that day, 3 days passed, and then they approved my visa.
So now, let me ask you, what was the most difficult part of the whole process?
So I would say definitely one thing: information. Missing information. I didn't know what requirements do they need, what documents should I bring. Like, if I compare it with the Ghanaian visa process, do the list, and it's perfect. I don't mind sending a lot of documents. I can understand why is the reason why do the immigration officer needs it for the security and stuff. But make a list, and everything's fine.
I would say the most difficult part on this visa was the invitation letter, because I was so confused. As a traveler, I didn't have anyone in Nigeria, like nobody. So I was so confused, but luckily I had made Ilinga, everybody knows Ilinga, on Couchsurfing, and I wrote him to send me invitation letter, and he was very good enough that he actually accepted and sent me all the necessary requirements. This was so good of you, Ilinga. Thank you so much.
So this now leads to my next question, which is, was there anything confusing or unexpected during the process?
Yes, definitely the invitation letter. As Tom just explained, it is really hard. If you want to visit a country, if you're a tourist, you want to travel, and you don't know anybody there, so you first need to get to know some good people. We're very glad to meet you, Arenga, and like without this, it would probably not even be possible to come to the country, because I don't think they would grant a visa without the invitation letter. And the other confusing thing was the online part. Like, I didn't know if I should go to the embassy or apply online. Tom was lucky because the embassy there actually answered the calls. When I tried to call the embassy in Czech, in Czech embassies never answer calls, so they are probably busy. I think, I don't know, they usually have just few people working there, so they don't have time to answer, and I didn't have anybody to actually ask about the visa. I believe that this e-visa website, the service I used, is actually not really governmental service. It's not the actual, because I've read somewhere in the news that Nigeria is still waiting for the proper e-visa system, and in the meantime they are using this service of probably developed by a private company for the Nigerian government, but that was a bit confusing. I was actually afraid that I got scammed, because I also heard stories of people who applied for the visa online. They paid, and then they found out that this website was just a scam website. So I was lucky that this was legitimate. We can write the link in the description, though it is confusing, and I think the reason is being that it's a privately developed tool to serve the need of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
The most confusing thing was that even when I submitted the necessary requirements, that the lady who was collecting the documents, the passport and everything, she looked at the invitation letter and she said, "No, I don't want this. You can make another invitation letter." Then I later asked, "What do you need in the invitation letter?" And she was not saying anything. She just threw the paper to me that to go and get another invitation letter. So I was so confused. What was wrong with the old invitation, and how should I do the new invitation letter? So I had to call my friend again, Ilinga, that the embassy needs a new invitation letter. But I asked the lady around at the embassy that what should I do? Then they told me that your invitation letter is not signed. It needs to be verified. So I asked Ilinga again to make invitation and sign it so that I can print and bring it again. That was the most confusing part. But later after, they said, okay, they accepted the invitation letter. But then another thing came in, the bank statement. They said that this is not a personal bank statement. It was a company bank statement. So I was asked to show the proof of a registered certificate of this business from Nigeria. And I was screwed. I thought maybe Ringa would not have that kind of certificate. But when I texted on WhatsApp that Ilinga, they need a certificate of your business, he was like, okay, I can send it. And then it was so fast. Within 1 minute, I went to the cafe and I printed it out. I bring it to the lady who was collecting the passports, and she was like, so you've been hiding it? I was like, no, I just asked for this. So like, okay, give me and go. I'll call you when the visa is approved. Then I had to walk away from the embassy. Just like that.
Did you get any help?
Yeah, of course I did. From you. Because usually I don't use like travel agencies or these things, because they just arrange a trip to you to show just like a fake. They don't even really show you the proper country. They will just show you what they want to show, and it's just like a small theater to amaze the tourists, but you don't really get to see the reality. That's why I just applied directly by myself, which I just want to tell you is pretty okay. My passport is one of the strongest passport in the moment in the world. The majority of the countries I don't need a visa at all. So many people will definitely say like, yeah, he feels like the white privilege, he can travel everywhere and they don't allow our people to their country. I just want to tell you, my country 30 years back, like few decades ago, it was almost impossible to leave the country. Like you would need to get approval to actually exit the country, which was extremely hard and difficult. It took like a year before getting this, and then you could actually go and ask for a visa at different embassies. So back then people were pretty much not able to travel. Like the other option was to just immigrate illegally, like cross the borders, but they're actually the border officers, if they would catch you, shoot you, they actually got Medal of Honor and they would be rewarded by they would pay them holidays on the seaside or something. So I come from this kind of system, but within the past 3-4 decades we have really worked on our economy, improving the economy. We have opened our country, like we don't have borders at the moment. We are part of the Schengen area, so if you need to come to Czech Republic you need a Schengen visa, but otherwise you can just travel freely. We have opened to businesses and everything, so we have made the first step. And right now also we have a really good diplomacy. We have a lot of good relationships with other countries, so that's why we got into the point when from almost impossible to travel, it is just very easy.
Yes, definitely I got help. If I did not, I wouldn't be right here in Lagos right now. I got the help from Ilinga, my friend right now. He's not even a friend anymore, he's like a brother. So he did the biggest part on my visa thing. However, that I had to pay for the fee and everything, but if he did not invite me, I wouldn't be here. So I'll appreciate you on that.
Okay, now, so to the biggest part of this interview. I always like to hear people's view about my country, Nigeria. So if I may ask, what was your family, friends' reaction when you said to them that you were visiting Nigeria?
So okay, you also have to know the history. I've been traveling since I was 18. I've lived in 15 different countries. I've traveled like over 70 countries. So traveling is just my lifestyle, and the past 3 years I've been traveling around Africa. I told you I've been basically from Ethiopia all the way to South Namibia, South Africa. So everybody in my family circle, in my friend circle, they know that I'm in Africa now. It's been over 3 years since COVID. Actually, the first time when after COVID, when I wanted to travel, I was choosing between Nigeria and Kenya. Back then, that was during the COVID time. Back then there was some, we still didn't know if the COVID is gonna disappear or not, but there was, the COVID cases started to spike in Nigeria, so it was not easy to come here. There was a lockdown that might have come So for that reason, I chose Kenya back then, and since that time, I keep traveling around the countries here. I keep exploring, and my family were always asking me, how is Africa? Like, we know there is like, okay, we know the people look like this, but we don't really know how Africa looks like. What is there to see? We know there is animals because a lot of people from my country come there, see the safari and go back, right? But they don't really know exactly what is to expect here. Couple of my friends and family members, even including my mom, she went to visit me back then in the East Africa, and so that's why I actually decided to start my YouTube channel and to show people how is Africa, what is here to see, the main landmarks, and so on. So this time when I came to Nigeria, everybody was like, yeah, again, see you soon.
The sad part of my story that I don't communicate to my family that I'm traveling anywhere. They just see me that I've gone, and they just see me that I've come back. They even don't know where I am in Africa. Maybe like one of my cousins was asking, did you go? Are you in Nigeria? Because I posted something on my WhatsApp that I'm in Nigeria, and it was only for once. But I usually don't communicate that I'm going somewhere. So they're not surprised, but they know I travel, but they're not surprised that I've gone, I'm home. They even don't know my shit that I'm going to go this day, I'll come back this day. No, it's a surprise, everything's a surprise.
So, what were your expectations before coming to Nigeria? And did they change in any way?
So the expectation, many people think, they land at the airport, they exit the gate, they're gonna get robbed, they go few more steps and they're gonna get kidnapped. That did not happen. I did not really expect that, but I did expect some scamming. I did expect some that I would have to be very cautious about where I'm going, with whom am I meeting, and so on. I've also met some Czech, like people, Nigerian people living in Czech. Just few weeks before, there is a bar right next to, like, 2 streets from my home. These guys, they are, I don't know if they are from Ghana or Nigeria. They were not really clearly saying it. I've met some Nigerian guy at the embassy, even in the plane. There were some football players from Nigeria who are actually playing in the Czech team. So I met some Nigerian doctor I knew who is working in Czech. So I was asking them how to go, where to do. I also had some friends, Nigerian friends I studied my university with. So I also asked them, but because they are already quite long time away from the country, they were not really able to give me some updated information. But as I said, my expectation was scam, kidnappings, dangerous, everything. It's not like you think, of course. This is Africa, or of course, anytime you travel, you have to be careful. You just don't go to like a small streets where it's dark and people are fighting there, like gangs are fighting there, or like that. It's just like you don't do that anywhere, right? So I think if I compare Nigeria with the rest of East Africa, there might be slight differences, but still I've been here for a week and a half or 2 weeks, and I haven't really seen anything that would be really bad.
Yeah, my expectations before coming to Nigeria, and actually they changed. I thought of Boko Haram kidnapping all the time. Because in Uganda, this news of Boko Haram kidnapping people, kids from schools, they are so much popular in Uganda. I also thought of immigration at the airport. The moment I land, handing my passport to be stamped, I thought they are going to be rude, just like any other immigration officers, most of the African countries. But actually, Nigerian immigration officers, they are one of the kindest and the happiest people I've ever met before. They were happy, asking nice questions. What have you come to do? Or so what have you got us from Uganda? What's your name? What do you do? I mean, like, they were smiling in a way that it was so heartwarming, you know. And also, I was expecting a lot of people because Nigeria, you will know that it has a lot of people. So I expected that Abuja, I'm going to see people on the street, but it was pretty empty. I even asked the driver who picked me from the airport to the accommodation, like, where are the people? They're like, no, it's not like that. People are everywhere in Nigeria. Maybe a bit of Lagos that you will see like some people on the streets, but in Abuja, like it's just like neutral. There's people, but it's not empty. Just like there, it's average. I was expecting a lot of going to see women, Nigerian women. You know, we watch a lot of Nigerian movies in Uganda. We call them maybe Nigeria, putting on dark lipstick, doing like ponytails, this traditional like covering the boobs and like some kind of skirts. I don't see actually people putting on a lot of this, though the men are putting on this African fabric, but the women I don't see this.
So, what advice will you give to someone from your country trying to visit Nigeria for the first time?
Yeah, true. As Tom said, the immigration officer at the airport was really, really friendly and really funny. There was a lady. She was joking with me. She was like, she asked me to teach her some words in Czech. I wouldn't even mind if it takes longer there, but it was just like 2 minutes. They stamped my passport and I was ready to go. But my advice is, be patient. Be patient because otherwise the visa, the plan really well. It takes long time. It's not that easy to get information, but plan well and have patience. And then the third advice is to enjoy this beautiful country.
My advice is simple to all people who want to come to Nigeria, mostly Ugandans. I even have friends already, when they saw my Instagram posts, they already asking, oh, when did you go to Nigeria? How did you get the visa? Because we've been explaining that the visa is so hard to get. So people who are planning to come here, make sure that you have an invitation letter. Make sure that you get some friends from Nigeria, because having your money and having your hotels booked, whatever Airbnb, does not matter here. What matters here is the invitation letter and of other details of the person inviting you in Nigeria. The processing is not that long. If it over delays, it will take about 6 days, but usually the process takes about 3 to 4 business working days. So that's pretty easy and simple. Like, you don't need a lot of time to wait. Another thing, make sure that you carry enough cash on you, because Nigeria is slightly expensive than Uganda, but the expense, like the lifestyle, the expense is like the same. And also you have to know that here, also like, let me talk about the English here. It's so confusing. So when I came here, I was pretty confused. I was not picking or understanding anything they were trying to tell me. Like, for example, I went to the salon to shave my hair and the guy was telling me, shall I bring it down? I was so confused. Like, I had my small bag, then I put it down. I thought maybe he's asking for me to put the bag down. And he was like, shall I bring down? And until when I realized that, oh, it's saying that to cut it shorter and shorter, like shave my hair shorter and shorter. So at least you have to know some basic of this Pidginese English. I don't even know how it's called, but at least you have to know basic before coming here.
Actually, one more important thing that came into my mind. What I usually do is that I bring my card, I withdraw from the ATM, or I send money for my mobile money. I usually create like MTN mobile money, which in Nigeria is not possible. You cannot create mobile money, this mobile wallet, if you're a foreigner. And the ATMs, they are limiting withdrawals to 20,000 naira, which is like $12, and it's really hard. Like, most of the places do not take international credit card. So be very sure to bring enough cash and exchange it at the official places. Like, there's a lot of people on the streets, or somebody can exchange it. The naira is a bit confusing if you don't know it. Like, they could give you some other notes or something. But apart of that, just as I said, plan it well. And as soon as you are here, interact with the local, have fun, meet friends, meet great friends like Arenga. These people are really nice. The Nigerians are very friendly, and I'm sure you will have a great time here.
Okay, now, so to wrap up the whole interview, I quickly want to ask you the last question about, your complete view when it comes to Nigeria. And, did you enjoy your stay? Did you meet many people, kind? And, otherwise, just let us know.
Yeah, so definitely. Since I'm here, I've met really cool people. You helped us a lot. You also showed us really great food. Like the Nigerian food is amazing. We had this jollof. Moi moi is my favorite, I think. It's really so tasty. I love it. Also, the people are so friendly. Even in Abuja, we met a person, our driver. He became our friend. He actually, as I talked about it before, like I was expecting to get scammed, but he actually sometimes even took us for free because like he was like, "Oh, you're my friends, let me take you." The same in the Airbnb. So far, I've met a lot of wonderful people. Amazing food. There's a lot to do, a lot to see. Like you can visit, for example, in Abuja, the Zuma Rock. We've been to Makoko floating village. It was a really like intense and beautiful experience. And also be ready for the heat because Nigeria, oh my god, for us it's just about like way more than the maximum heat I can survive. Actually, when I arrived the first 3 days, I was literally just lying in the bed because I had everything was swallowed from the AC, from the constant change of the heat and the AC coldness. So get ready for that.
Yeah, like coming to Nigeria has somehow opened my mind. As I told you, I met very nice people. Starting from the airport, the immigration officers were friendly. In Abuja, I was able to make some friends. I met some good people, very kind and very helpful. I'll talk about the food. The food here is amazing. Amala is my favorite Nigerian cuisine. It's so nice. It's really so nice. Moi moi is also great. I tried the beer. I'll talk about the beer because I love beer. Ugandans drink out of beer. When you come here, try Hilo beer. Hilo and Trophy, something like that. These are very good beers. About what else? But just like that. Like Nigeria is not so much different from Uganda. It's just like Uganda is a bit cool, like cooler, but here it's a bit hot. So even for me, it's still hot. I want to move when I'm like shirtless without putting on shirts, but I have nothing to do. I have to get used and adapt to the situation until when I leave the country. But so far, I'm enjoying. I'm still here for more days and looking forward to come back in Nigeria.
Thank you very much, guys, for sharing your experiences so far in Nigeria. And I hope and look forward to seeing you guys again in Nigeria. So for my audience, now you know what it entails for you to obtain Nigerian visa and what Nigeria really looks like. So till I come your way with a wonderful and interesting video, I remain your G Arenga saying, anyway, make sure you subscribe, share, like, and leave a comment. Let me know your experience if you have, applied for Nigerian visa from your country and maybe approved or denied. Let me know your experience. Leave a comment and I would love to read all the comments. Thank you. Bye bye. And then, Oda. Peace.